Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. First, we're going to go ahead and do a Shantopolis world update. Yes, we have reached that time, you guys. It is the end of the Kuwait Bees arc, and we are moving this storyline along. So I have a little wrap up for you guys. You're going to really enjoy this one. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I'm excited for you guys to hear it. Off to Canada. And then we're going to go ahead and do an update on ALR. She put out a video yesterday that I actually very much enjoyed. ALR was her most honest we have seen in a while, and she opens up about a lot of the things that she is going through at this time. Despite everything, I think there is a really good positive message there in the end. All that and more coming up on today's edition of Girl Talk. Let's just get right into it. Shall we? All right, you guys, so today we have a relatively short but sweet Shantopolis world update, and I'm super excited. For the past 3 months, we have watched Chantal's journey to Kuwait. At the beginning, everyone was super enthusiastic about this new adventure that our Beezer Queen was going to take us on. But at that same time, people were also a bit skeptical. Remember when she first came on and let people know her intentions to change her life and adopt a more modest lifestyle? October 5th, 2022. She was being very secretive. Anyone who had maybe a question or two about the sudden 180-degree turn was deemed invasive by the Queen of Shantopolis. The tabloids would run with headlines, "Former party girl turned religious modest woman. Say it isn't so. What would become of our queen, and what would become of Pete's of my mind, the queen's humble butler? No live streams," she said. And so it was, for a couple of days, but not before introducing us to her new Syrian love. That was the title of the video after all. The kingdom's residents remained inquisitive. Would she make the trek all the way across the world from the kingdom of Shantopolis to the home of Prince Salah? How long had she known Prince Salah? Well, the jury's still out on that one. Remember when ex-jester Nadir suggested it was several months longer than she had first led us to believe? The biggest surprise of all came on November 2nd, when she posted the video, "My Travel Journey from Canada," Shantopolis, "to Kuwait." She had unequivocal proof that she did in fact actually seriously go. No one could deny that. She vlogged from a bridge, shared her travel experience at her size, ate at the biggest McDonald's in Kuwait. But then the magic wore off. The shock factor of this sudden change was no more. The people became bored with whatever non-headline headlines she provided. She just wasn't getting the clicks needed to sustain her lifestyle anymore. Things weren't looking good at all until one man, Mr. Allah Shabib, came on the scene, and he had the tea on Salah and Chantal and all the dirty deeds from behind the scenes. From the size of the apartment, the fake marriage, the broken couches, the leaving people in the desert without food or water. Oh, it was delicious. And so the people flocked to hear every last salacious detail. But they didn't come back to the Queen Beezer. No, they went to the evil reaction channels, where they were free to voice their opinions without the overreaching hand of the authoritarian leader of Shantopolis. The Queen shot back at Mr. Shabib, but to no avail. The people had had enough with the wicked rage she had unleashed upon the kingdom. What was a queen to do with her reputation tarnished and only a couple hundred KD to her name? She went for the sympathy pet tactic, a hamster for Salah and Chantal. There were a few rages after that, still fixating on Natter, Yo Mama, reaction channels. By the way, she deleted the Yo Mama stream, which was to be expected. She ironically came out as unsupportive of the LGBT. And after all that mess and all that drama, one marriage-proof video gone wrong, things got quiet again in Shantopolis. Then she returned for one last video. The season finale, if you will, was Chantal converting or reverting to her new religion, and it was final. The transformation was complete. Everything was official. And with that, we have reached the end of the Kuwait arc, and I will leave you guys with this one last community post. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are all well. I will not be going live or uploading any content from now until I arrive home. See you in Canada. I'm not actually traveling on the 28th. So if I had to guess, I think she was worried that some weirdo out there would probably call the airport or the airline or something like that. So she never really confirmed when exactly she was leaving. I wouldn't be totally surprised if she was on a plane right now. Maybe she was in the airport when she wrote this. I just feel like she should have said nothing and then just popped up live from the villa or something. Then she could have maintained that drama / intrigue. Where is she? What's happening? People would probably speculate that she was locked up. Missed opportunity, I guess. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap. I wish I had a clapper board. Honestly, maybe I should get one. It does feel a little bittersweet. Oh, who am I kidding? We have talked at length about what will possibly happen when she gets back, so I'll just leave it at that. Let the games begin. All right, you guys, for the rest of the video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about ALR's new video. This one is called Opening Up About My Family and Addiction, and this is weigh-in week 4. I have to say right off the bat that this is the most honest, vulnerable video we have seen from Amber in a very long time. The comments are way more positive on this one than usual as well. Amber starts off the video by saying that she is not doing the best right now. She's taking it easy in January and says this video should have been up on Monday. Amber then goes on to answer some questions, the first being about obesity and if it runs in her family. And she tells us a story about how her grandma was over 600 pounds at one point before Amber was even born, meaning sometime in the 80s or even before. I think this explains a lot. I'm not totally sure, but back then, wasn't that way less common than it is today? She says her grandma got weight loss surgery, and Amber didn't even know that was a thing back then. It wasn't the Stone Age, girl. But I'm sure getting it now is much safer and just better in general. So Amber says when she was growing up, her grandma was high 100s, low 200s. So she was obviously able to make so much progress with the help of the surgery. Amber should really think about her grandma's story. She's no longer with us, but wow, it was really inspirational to hear that from her. Amber's grandma was also a lesbian, so they have that in common as well. I've heard of things like skipping a generation, you know what I mean? And some people are really more connected to their grandparents in that way. Next question. Amber does not believe in health at every size. She doesn't think it's healthy to be her size, although years ago, she was told by a doctor that she was perfectly healthy, just overweight. And she admits that that fed her delusion at the time. Our girl is chugging down the diet soda these days, but she knows she needs more water. You know, one thing about me is I stopped drinking soda in 2021 and I didn't lose a pound. So honestly, I don't know if it even matters as long as it's diet soda, of course. Amber talks about that time in early 2020, I believe, when she went to a doctor about WLS and they told her she would need to do a lot of therapy to heal from her past. If you think about it, she probably would have been getting the surgery by now if she stuck with it in 2020. This time though, Amber says will be different. She knows they will tell her to do therapy and she will accept that and take that first step. She admits she didn't want to put the work in 2020. Amber talks about MJ gummies, you know, D8, right? If you know, you know. This past year and into 23, she had become somewhat reliant on the D8 gummies. She admits that it had become somewhat of a problem and probably impeded her from getting things done and made her binging way worse. I think with this in particular, it's one of those things where it can be done responsibly and also it could possibly get out of hand. It just depends on the person, but luckily it's not something that requires medical intervention to stop. Amber admits that she would just mindlessly take gummies and eat and eat and eat. The first week of Ozempic, ALR said it wasn't working and the reason was because of the gummies. the schmedibles. It really does make you very hungry and tired too. Amber quit because she wasn't productive, and it's been a week since she's had a gummy. So this has been going on for what appears to be a few months, and it could be very well the reason for her latest gain. Mix that with a binging problem and Uber Eats at your fingertips, it makes a lot of sense. Amber opens up about her parents. Her mom is doing well and her father is not. We know that she grew up in foster care because they were in active addiction during her early childhood. Her little brother went down the same path as her parents and is doing time right now. Amber contemplates if she is like them as well, she just chose a different outlet. Amber breaks down and begins to cry. She wanted to help her brother, but in these situations, you have to be careful. She couldn't have him come to Lexington because he was most likely court ordered to stay in whatever state he is in. Amber didn't clarify that, but that's just what I was thinking when she told this story. And she also couldn't just give him money. She probably did give him some, but she couldn't fuel this problem, right? That's where it gets tricky. But she did get him food. I really understand where she's coming from, and I don't think she should feel like she didn't try to help him, but there's only so much you can do without becoming an enabler, right? Amber realizes that going forward with the WLS, she is going to have to come face to face with her past and dig up old memories in order for her to move on with her life. And you can tell that this is terrifying for her, but she knows it is something that she has to do this time. Amber says she is scared to be as open as she used to be because of the comments. She ends with her weigh-in being 520.0. She gained weight and she is the same as she was on January 1st. She did get a new scale and has her WLS appointment coming up soon. We can only go up from here. Not on the scale, but you get what I mean. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.